Hello, welcome to the Your Business Card Guy Learning Center. Today we're going to talk about resolution. Resolution is represented in dots per inch. You've probably heard people talking about 72 dpi, or they've talked about 350 dpi. When dealing with graphics for websites, you can use something as a 72 or a 96 dpi, and that's actually a fairly low resolution. When dealing with a commercial printer for business cards, brochures, vinyl banners, any of that kind of printed material, you need much higher resolution, something like 350 dpi, sometimes 600, depending on what you're having done and the requirements of your printer. So if you were to be asked to give your logo or a photograph for a business card or something such as that, it needs to be in a high resolution version. And let me show you a couple of examples of what that looks like. In this first example, we have two logos. The one on the left is essentially a web version, something taken from, say, their website, and they will copy that down, they'll email it to us and say, here's my logo, put this on my business card, I need them by, whenever. And we take a look at it and we realize that it's a low-res version, and we tell the customer, no, this won't work, we can't use this, and a lot of times they wonder why. Well, let me zoom in and we can see what this looks like up close. You can notice along these edges that it looks very stepped and very sort of rough, a little bit scruffy. If we were to try to print this via a commercial printer, it's going to look very out of focus and very poor. The one on the right is a high-res version. I'm going to zoom back out and I'm going to zoom in over here and notice the difference. Look at how clean these edges are. Now, granted, this graphic does have sharp corners because that's just how the graphic's designed. But these are very straight edges. Let me scroll over a little bit to the left here. I'm going to try to do this slowly. And you'll notice, look how rough that looks. Look how it's sort of grayish, lighter gray, a little bit variations. That is the difference. This is a low-res, sort of web quality graphic, where the one on the right is a high-res graphic. This is something that can be used for a commercial print job, business cards and brochures. This also happens a lot of times with photographs. Let me show you an example with that. Here are two photos. The one on the left taken by someone's iPhone or whatever and put up on the Facebook page. Pretty common. People will email these to us and say, hey, I need some new business cards. I want to get my picture on there. Here's my photo. And we will take a look and say, no, it's not going to work. We need something high res. Do you have the original version? And you'll, depending on what you have or who took it, you may or may not be able to get it. And so a lot of times that can be a bit confusing for clients because when they look at it here, it doesn't look all that bad. For being that this is being displayed on a website, in this case it's just my computer monitor, it looks okay. But if I zoom in very close, you will see how much this breaks up. If we print this on a commercial printer, it's going to look very out of focus and fuzzy and just very, very low quality. The photograph on the right, on the other hand, was taken by a professional and was given to us in a high-res format that allowed us to deal with it. If we want to compress it, we can. If we need to resize it, we can. The original quality is still there. Now, if you zoom in far enough, you'll see some breakup. Watch when I get in real close on this eye here. See, there is some breakup when you get close enough. But that is a lot better quality. Let me zoom out just a couple steps. See how nice this looks around the edges? You can see the hair pretty well. There's just a lot of detail and it looks very nice. Let me scroll over here to the left. You can see the difference, the same zoom. See how bad this one looks? See how rough this ear is, and the eye is kind of mushy, and it's you just can't. The hair just looks like a blob. That is essentially the difference. So when you are sending a photograph or a graphic in for a business card, for a brochure, for anything that you're doing that's going to be printed via a commercial printer, make sure you are using something that is high resolution. If you need to, get a photographer to come take your picture, because the result is going to be far better with the proper high resolution graphic. Thank you for taking the time with us here at the Your Business Card Guy Learning Center. Today we learned about resolution. Talk to you later.